nothing. It feels good to just sit down with a big bowl of Bootios and, well, do nothing. You know, at first I thought you were a joke, but actually some pretty damn good cereal. Like, you even got the marshmallows in here. I tell you, what's crazy? Right, about that. Hi. What's good, my amigos? Cartoons here. You're, oh, you know the rest. You're probably clicking on this video expecting there to be, a review. Yeah, about that. You see, the thing is, there hasn't been a review on this channel in quite a long time. I mean, if you count the round table and count all these other stuff and these interviews that Toon is doing, Toon's busy off doing that, and meanwhile me, I got nothing to do. I had this big review planned, you see. I was gonna sit down and review one of Toon's most requested movies, which is Bionicle, The Mask of Light. It's, you know, based off the Lego series. And you know, Lego is pretty important to me. I figure since we got Lego Batman and we got Lego Ninjago later and Lego everything is like super freaking popular, I thought, you know, maybe I should look at one of Lego's first big movie successes. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? But you see, the thing, you know, the thing about that, you see, is that I had a really big intro planned for this. I was gonna hire some of the best stop-motion Lego YouTubers of all time to make this review entirely Lego. Because, you know, Bionicle deserves that. Lord knows Bionicle's not doing anything right now. I mean, they had a Netflix series that came out that literally no one watched. But for some reason, people like Bionicle, Mask of Light. And, well, here's the thing. I don't have any really material here to even make a review. I mean, I suppose if I was gonna make a review, I'd have to talk about, well, the movie, obviously, but where do I even start? I mean, one of the things that I remember Bionicle most for was that when Toon and I were in day school, I remember that how we first got into writing was because of this movie, which is pretty important. The Bionicle series had like some really weird lore to it, like it was insanely deep. Like they had tribes, they had characters, character bios, like, you know, when you probably were on like the website and like they had that game that you got to play, you know, where you were just moving around the island of, what was it, Motunui, Maui from Moana, something like that. But it was really cool that they had all that lore to it, because Lego doesn't usually invest that much into the lore. We didn't see Lego really try until like that Marvel Superheroes video game that came out a little while later. I mean, it's so good because I love Lego, even though like Toon and I used to get picked on because his name's Zach, he's a Lego maniac. But here's the thing, you can't make fun of us now because we're sitting up here reviewing, well, I'm not even reviewing, I'm talking about, I guess, how I would do a Bionicle review. So I don't know who the real winner is here, but it's probably us. I'm just saying, it's probably us. Funny thing is, I barely even remember the story for it. I mean, what was it? It was about these two dudes that were being escorted to like someplace, having a golden mystical item, and they're like bunch of their fellowships of the Wait a second. Two dudes with a golden item that they have to escort somewhere, and they got a bunch of adults supervising them and following them along on their great adventure. When did this movie come out again? You know, suddenly this makes sense. I mean, like, I'm not gonna accuse, like, you know, the movie of, like, ripping off Lord of the Rings or anything. Or maybe it was the other way around. Because if Lord of the Rings ripped off Lego, you know how freaking weird that would be? No one would care though. But if it was the other way around, you would see this all over the news and stuff. Like, it makes no freaking sense. Like, I barely remember the story for this. And then again, do you really need to remember the story for this? Because later on they made like 2 sequels that one of them was okay. And then there was the other one that was just literally there just to sell new toys. And then there was a 4th one that Was there a fourth one? I don't even remember at this point. Bionicle's weird like that, you know. Now, if I were actually doing a review, I would want to also talk about Jollar and Takua, who are the main two characters, or I'm just going to call them Frodo and Sam, because that's basically what they are. This is basically Lego Bionicle Lord of the Rings Mask of Light Edition. So, from what I remember, one of them was voiced by Andrew Francis, who is like Toon's senpai or whatever. And if you think about it, the way that they have the story play out, from what I remember, I believe Takua was the one that's supposed to get the Mask of Light, and then he's supposed to be the hero, but psych, no, it's Jollar, and like, no one cares, because both of them have really bland and boring personalities anyway. I mean, like, it's pretty much evident that it's gonna happen, you just don't know exactly how, and the movie kind of takes a while for it to figure out. I don't remember. I think, like, when it comes to how the story goes, it's just, hey, let's move to a new location, new character, new location, new character. It's like they're lining up these toys, and it's just like, I had all the Bionicles, of course I did. Like, are you crazy? Like, whenever there was something new Lego out, I was right there at Toys R Us making sure that I got it. It's, you don't pass out on that kind of thing, because Legos are still today such a big thing. Back then, they were even bigger. Like, you had to go to stores to find what you're looking for, but now, you can just go on eBay and look for that one thing you've been looking for. Have fun with that, by the way, because a little tiny box that's like maybe this big, or maybe even big as this cereal box here, probably is about $500. I don't understand that, because, like, Lego is freaking weird, and you're gonna be so pissed when you eventually lose that one piece. Like, you know what I'm talking about. You think you have everything all figured out, and you're missing that one piece, and it's the box's fault. It sure as heck isn't your fault, because like you look all around the floor, and you're wondering, okay, where the heck is it? Then you go into your bin with all the extra Lego pieces, and you think, hey, maybe I can find it there, because maybe, just maybe, there's a chance that I maybe misplaced a piece. Or maybe you can jerry-rig it with another piece, but then it's gonna look so freaking weird, because you got like that one blue piece there that totally does not fit in, but then you try to use a Sharpie or something over it, and then it looks worse, because your dumbass at a young age probably doesn't even know how to use a Sharpie. So what the hell are you supposed to do? And I'm rambling, I just realized, and I've completely lost my train of thought at this point, but you know what? At least I'm having more fun talking about this than if I were to make a video about Bionicle Mask of Light. Something to think about. I do remember one thing. I do remember that the Toa, the main 5 Toa characters, I can't even remember their names, but like, they were like Power Rangers. You know, you got red, blue, green, brown, and black, and they're all so distinct. They're all these superheroes, but they were so tropey. Like, when I rewatched this movie, from what I remember, Red is basically Wolverine. I mean, he's so edgy, and he's got the fire powers and everything, which is why I think I can relate to him more. I mean, that's pretty freaking cool. The dude surfs on lava. I don't know how you can go wrong with that. You surf on lava. Now, any sane human being would probably say no to that, but I know there are some thrill seekers out there that would do that. I mean, most of you are crazy to lick Nintendo Switch cartridges, so I'm sure by that extension, you must totally want to do some lava surfing then. Bravo, guys. Bravo. Then there was the blue one, which I'm honestly trying to remember, but like, there was nothing interesting about her. She was the token girl character. You know, the water one. That surprisingly had hips. So I don't know how to feel about that, because were they trying to make Legos like sexy or whatever? Because there's already some weird Lego stuff. You know, it's like, I understand that there's probably Lego porn, just as much so as that there's Minecraft porn, which, by the way, I've heard some stuff about that. Y'all got 8 seasons of Minecraft porn on YouTube? What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you have anything better to do with your time? Like, it's sad enough. You got Minecraft porn, you got Lego porn, you got Bambi porn, which I'm not even gonna go into. I remember one fan tried to show me that, and that freaked the fuck out of me. It's just, you don't need to make Lego characters sexy. It's not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen. Certainly not on my watch. What else was there about the blue character? I don't even remember much about her other than she was like the voice of reason and had to calm down Red, and I'm pretty sure there was some high sexual tension between them. But even after that, who the fuck cares? The only other things I can seem to recall is that Brown and Black were at each other's throats despite both of them being ground and earth. I mean, it's kind of like in Pokemon, you have ground types and rock types. They're the same thing, guys. They're the same thing. That's the one thing I don't understand about Pokemon. Ground and rock types, they're the same damn thing. You don't need to make separate classes for them. Just have one singular earth class. That makes things so much easier. Then you don't have to come up with more Pokemon for it. It's so much easier. Anyway, tangent over on that. What was I talking about again? No one really cared, I think, about Brown and Black anyway. And Green was like this stoner character that, like, I didn't even understand. Like, was he supposed to be Legolas? What was the point? Like, does anybody know who Green was supposed to be? I mean, I don't even know at this point. And the villain, oh yeah, Makuta, the big bad villain, no one cared. No one cared. He was just this basic, evil, dark entity. There was nothing special about him, nothing remarkable about him. Man, the characters were so boring in this movie. So was the story in this movie, too. I mean, like, Lord knows, if I had the budget to do this review, I would probably make it 10 times more interesting. I could probably remake the movie, too. Given my resources, I'm pretty sure I could, too. All I can really say about Bionicle Mask of Light is if you want to see it for yourself, go ahead. There's no harm in it. It's a boring movie, but it's not a terrible movie. You know, granted it's tropey. The CGI makes it look like it's a movie for like a PS2 or a GameCube game. That's how mediocre the CGI was at the time. And then of course, like, you have the characters who are so tropey and boring that you got nothing to go off of, and the story, which is basically a ripoff of Lord of the Rings, but it's still not a bad movie. I have seen far worse movies this year, and let me tell you, I would happily rewatch Bionicle Mask of Light because at least I got something out of it. At least I could make fun of it, you know, while I was watching it. But in the end, you have to understand, all this was just to sell the Bionicle merch line. That's all I was there for. Granted, I understand that there were some people, you know, behind the scenes who were probably really big into storytelling, and they wanted to craft a big story. But kids probably didn't give a shit, so they only went to go buy the toys, and then they'd make up their own stories. Kind of like Toon and I made up our own stories, and then our writing career kicked off from there. So if you're watching this, sorry, I don't have a review for you guys. I mean, if I were to make a review, it would have basically been all that, but I'm too lazy to make videos anymore. You know, it's like, it's a long, tedious process, and the ideas that I have, I simply could not do on my own. But if I were to make a review, it would basically have included all that, so yeah. Sorry guys, wish I could do more, but who knows? Maybe I'll get this review off one day. Maybe I'll actually make this review. But as for now, well, this has been your friendly neighborhood cartoons. Have a nice day. You know, when some fan actually sent me this in the P.O. box, I honestly thought they were joking. But it's legit cereal. Not even kidding. This is legit cereal that you can buy at a store. You know? This following video has and is now sponsored by Bootios, because they make sure you ain't booty.